Mr. Chairman, I rise in support of H.R. 1618, the Nicholas and Zachary Burt Carbon Monoxide Poisoning Prevention Act that was introduced by my friend from New Hampshire, Ms. Custer. This legislation comes in response to a growing number of carbon monoxide poisoning and deaths across the country. Each year, nearly 500 people die from carbon monoxide poisoning for a number of reasons. For instance, we see a rise in carbon monoxide poisonings in the wintertime when many people use alternative methods to heat their homes. Earlier this year, a family in my district was rushed to the hospital with carbon monoxide poisoning that is similar to these instances. This legislation would help to chip away at those numbers. It'll create a grant program that will assist states in helping install and monitor carbon monoxide detection systems that will help communities such as the elderly. This is a simple solution to a difficult problem. I support the underlying bill, and I urge my colleagues to do the same, and I yield back. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to strike the last word. Mr. Chairman, I'll be brief, but I wanted to again state my appreciation for the work that's gone into these bills. I've had concerns with earlier versions of these bills, but I think after a robust process of hearings and negotiations, this is a package of bills that will help patients. So far, this committee has demonstrated sincere effort to work together to address prescription drug prices. While I think we still have some work to do, today's transparency bills are a good step. Sunlight is the best disinfectant, and I'm concerned and I'm confident that the policies in this bill will help lower costs for patients. Again, I want to thank you, Chairman Pallone and Chairwoman SU, for your leadership throughout this process. And I want to thank the staff on both sides for their work on this as well. I look forward to continuing to work with you all to address other drug pricing reforms moving forward. I remember during one of the insulin hearings in the Oversight Committee earlier this year, Chairwoman DeGette said she thought she'd never see the day when Buddy Carter was channeling Jan Schakowsky. But here we are, and I'm thankful we have been able to work together on these issues. Mr. Chairman, today marks another strong step in this committee's work to lower drug prices for Americans. I encourage all of my colleagues to support this bill. I look forward to continue to work with you all to get this bill across the President's desk so we can start delivering for patients across the country. Thank you, and I yield back. I thank the gentleman for yielding. I want to thank Chairman Pallone, Republican Leader Walden, Congressman Ruiz, and Congressman Bouchon for their hard work leading on this issue. I've said from the beginning that we need to find middle ground on this issue because protecting patients from surprise bills is simply too important to fall by the wayside. This has been a complex problem to tackle, but inaction was simply not an option. I'm proud that we found a way to move forward. I think this amendment strengthens this bill, and I look forward to moving this important policy to the House floor, and I yield back to the